Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first Rec Advisory Board meeting of 2025. It's January 16th, 5:31 p.m. Call this meeting to order. Get started. We've got a quorum tonight, so we can move ahead with approving the agenda. Is there anything that needs added or amended? Motion to approve?
I'll second.
And then finally, Stuart sent out, who couldn't be here tonight. Thanks, Annie, for acting as secretary in Stuart's absence tonight. But he did send out the minutes from the December meeting. Did everyone get a chance to take a look at those? Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Second. Thanks. Do that as well. Just plugging right along here with new business. There was nothing that that came across my desk in the call for agenda items, but since in the 36 hours since I put the call out, is there anything new that's popped up that we'd need to put here? Right. So we have two items of continuing business. The first of which is new member recruitment. So the flyer went live shortly after the start of the new year, and according to Catherine Ann, we've got 4 respondents in these about two and a half weeks that it's been open. So Emily, you had a question about eligibility?
Yeah, someone reached out to me and asked if we could have a high schooler as a member.
That's a great question.
Which seemed like kind of a nice idea.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I don't know. Those rules, I think that that would be I'm trying to think of even the ordinance, and I don't think I've seen an age requirement in the ordinance, but that might be a good question that we run by Monica Flowers now, just to make sure if there's anything in, state law that prohibits. But if for some reason, someone under 18 can't serve, then we have talked about in the past and would be interested in at some point in the future having like a youth, advisory board, which I know they do exist in other areas, which makes me feel like there's probably not an age requirement, if anyone can have an advisory board. Yeah.
Seems like
That's a good question.
kind of an interesting opportunity.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. A good opportunity for us, and then a good opportunity for that person too to start digging into what city life is like and giving back. So, yeah.
Well, I think maybe just also to expedite the process, if you want to encourage that person to apply,
Yeah, go ahead.
just so their name is on the list, and if it turns out that there is an issue with them being a minor or something, then we at least have their info.
Yep.
So I guess that would be my thinking, is just to go ahead and get their name.
Another way to, if for some reason they aren't eligible, we can always have a non-voting. You can have anyone attend, and you can have them be a part of the meetings, and then they're just a non-voting member.
Okay.
And that might also, could be a potential option to explore if for some reason they can't serve as a voting member.
Great.
And you're involved with Monica?
Yes,
Okay.
I will.
That's where I would start.
Okay.
Thank you.
I'll follow up with Monica and ask about age requirements, and we can go from there. So we've had the recruitment out and about for, like I said, for about almost 3 weeks now. What are we thinking is, and we've got 4 respondents. So we only have 1 slot to fill. Do we maybe want to do one more round, like maybe one more reshare of the
push,
flyer,
yeah.
one more posting to Facebook pages or Instagram stories or whatever, and then collate and share the results at the February meeting. So do a quick turnaround in that way.
Sounds good.
Actually, when is our February meeting?
That's a good question.
It's a good question. It's not on the agenda.
Always depends on
Let me
where.
check.
Is it the 20th?
I've got it on the calendar.
Ooh, that sounds
Yes, it's
Yeah,
February
okay.
20th. Why don't we close the call for folks February 1st? So we'll say we gave it like the full month. And then we can send out the information to the existing board, which would give us almost 3 weeks to look over the materials. And so rather than just disseminate the info on the 20th, we can actually vote on our preferences or put them in order of preference and get them sent to the mayor.
Yeah.
Yeah? Sound good? Okay, so if folks can reshare the flyer, the
I
call
can
for.
update the flyer to reflect a,
That
deadline.
closes February 1st. So just as you reshare, if you reshare the old flyer, just make sure you're indicating it closes on the 1st. And for, I guess, anyone who is listening, watching, tuning in, we are looking for a new member. So if you haven't seen the flyer posted or seen the link reposted, it should be available.
it is on
the-
our website.
On the website and the Athens Community Center Facebook page. So if that's something of interest, we encourage you to apply. Reach out and apply. So, okay, other comments, questions about our new member recruitment? Okay. And then finally, the ad hoc committee check-in. I don't know, that's maybe a question to you. I don't know that any of the committees have actually met yet or not, so I'm seeing shaking heads.
Yeah,
so.
not to my knowledge.
Okay.
And that's fine, it doesn't have to be to my knowledge either.
So if none of them have met, that is enough of a check-in. I think for us, is there on your end, Catherine? Is there anything about those ad hoc committees that's changed or that you would need to update us on?
No, I will be reaching out to the ad hoc committee on fundraising, because that group is helping out with the brick sponsorship with the 25th anniversary sculpture. So I will be reaching out to those folks to connect. I did get the proposal from Joshua Tree with the drawing of what the surface will look like, and I meant to print it off and give it to you so y'all can see it, but I forgot. I can send it to you via email. And just start getting an idea and visualizing what the donor bricks, like where they will go within that and what they would look like. So it is time to start pulling that ad hoc committee together to focus on that project. So I'll reach out and kind of connect and get that moving forward.
Great.
Because Erin will be the main point person to help out with that from my team, so I'll get her looped in.
Okay, great. Sounds good. That's exciting stuff with
Yeah.
at the anniversary year happening.
Yeah.
All right, great. So let's just move right on to the staff report.
Excellent.
Started.
Okay, so sculpture is at the top of the list. We do have a proposal so far, so it's really exciting. And we're still reaching out to folks, and I'm going to send out the information to the folks who had applied for the sculpture park as well. That's just another way. I don't know if if those are folks who are seeing the way that we're putting them out as well. So we're trying to get creative with making sure we're getting that information into people's hands who are artists within this community. The shrubs have been removed from the area in front of the community center. So if you have been there recently before the snow, I mean, you can tell now that there's no shrubs, but before the snow, you could tell the difference. That those have been removed in preparation for all the work that we're going to do in that area. And I guess that's all the updates I have, and then I have that estimate from Joshua Tree. So we're working through our contract right now.
Is the proposal information on your site?
Yes.
Okay, just
Yes.
double checking. I know
Yeah.
you probably said it and I just
No,
forgot.
that's okay. It's, it's always worth asking because sometimes we think things are updated on our website and they're not. But I have successfully Googled 25th anniversary sculpture or sculpture at the Athens Community Center, and it will come up, which is nice. So, granted, Google knows me and knows what I'm looking for, but either way, it exists on our website. So that is good also. And it's also in the OAC, Ohio Arts Council. They have a database for people who are requesting artist submissions to put their information in, so then artists can search that are familiar with that system for opportunities to submit commissioned work or proposals or what have you. So West State Street Park, we're waiting on the engineered stamps for the restrooms. And the community center, we're still waiting on our new lockers, but I had a nice meeting with our crew today, and we're going to start working on the lockers in the women's restroom, hopefully next week, since it's kind of going to be a little cold for our staff, and removing the lockers that we aren't going to replace. We'll leave the lockers that we will replace, but removing the ones that we aren't going to replace, and start fixing up that area. And we're going to add a little bit more seating in the women's locker room in the community center. And eventually we will get to the men's locker room, but right now we can only handle one at a time. So that's going to be happening. And then we're also, our budget was released, so this is why it's all exciting. We can now talk about what we're going to do. And we're going to get our basketball hoops. There's the motors that raise them and make them sideways and everything. We're going to get our motors, winches, and safety straps and cables all replaced. We did that in the back half of the gym this last year, and so now it is the front half of the gym's turn. Arts West, the flooring at Arts West, that job is complete now. So the performance space is really nice. It's a lot brighter and cleaner looking than it was just by changing the floor. It's kind of amazing what can happen. Skate park work, we're going to work on that. That was moved to this year, so that's exciting. I need to follow back up with Ridge Runner Construction. Okay, Sells Park, I left kind of what I had last time, other than we're picking up working through a sculpture installation in the pond at Sells Park. Our community center, the upstairs offices, we're doing a little bit of a renovation to add an office space and storage space. So it's really open up there, which is really nice, but it's also not conducive to the kind of places that people that work for us need a place to work. So we're going to add some closed-in areas up there. I just need a commercial contractor. We've already have the designs and plans in place. We did that in 2024, but now we just need to find someone who can do the work. So that's exciting. Highland Park Shelter, so we're, again, I know we've talked about this. I already have quotes, that I got from last year, so I'm going to follow up and try to get that scheduled and on the books. So hopefully we can have that completed so people can enjoy it in the summer. Fingers crossed. And then I'll have to pick up the old estimates and reach back out to those contractors for the parking area by the West Side Community Gardens and the Crosley Field area at West State Street Park. We're going to improve parking there by creating a permeable parking area. So we'll pick that back up and get rolling with that. We're going to be working on a strategic plan in 2025, really for the next, once we launch the program, then it'll be like 12 weeks. So we'll have it in place in 2025 for the next 3 years, and we're working with Mission Met. So Aaron and I will be leading that with our team, which will be really helpful to have a kind of a plan and how we're going to continue moving forward as a department. Well, I'm taking a big, nice crew, and we're going to the Ohio Parks and Recreation Association conference in early February, which is always really useful for us making connections, but also we're able to bring back some really exciting ideas. I added to our special events, we obviously have Fam Jam coming up on January 25th, and we also are planning a 5K in March and our Easter egg hunt, which is ever so popular. We are picking up the planning for that.
Yeah, the Fam Jam, since it is coming up, do you know how many tickets you've sold yet?
40.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, what's capacity? I know, I think I asked
Yeah,
that
that's a great
semester.
question. Probably a little over 100, I think, spread out between the rooms would be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. I think last year we were like 70 or 80 area, and that was comfortable, a nice number of people, not too crowded. But now, since we'll have a silent disco in another room, we can take a little bit more people floating around.
Sure.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Is there a theme for the 5K in March?
We did have a theme, and then we discovered that on the day that we picked, which we know we can be a little flexible, but we still wanted it to be in March, there was already something close by happening that was the same theme. And so we are pivoting, and we will find another theme.
25 years.
Does that mean it's around St. Patrick's Day or?
No, well, it was like it's near the Take Back the Night glow run, and so we were like, oh, we're gonna have a glow 5K, and it's gonna be amazing. Like, not even thinking about Take Back the Night, and then we realized that is happening a few days after what we were trying to do, and so we were like,
We just do like a firefly or something.
yeah. Oh, Firefly.
Okay,
that's
that's
cool. Yeah, open to ideas, because we were really sold on the glow idea. We came up with like safety plans, and we put the cart before the horse on that one. But that's okay. We didn't buy anything, so it was just a fun meetings we had, which builds our relationships with each other anyways. We have lots of programming happening. It's basketball season at the community center, so that is definitely our busiest indoor time. We expanded our operating hours last week, even though when we were closed because of the weather, we weren't open. but we expanded, and that's exciting to have that happen. And we're almost done with our winter mileage challenge. We have 65 people registered, which is great. We're almost through the United States. We still have our New Year membership drive. So anybody, it's your last chance, last couple of weeks to get a discount on a 3-month membership. See how you like it with us. Or maybe it's a 6-month one. It's on our website. Let's see, I'm trying to think, because of the new stuff. We had a backpacking clinic that was free to the community, and we had 25 people show up and got really positive feedback. So Nicole's really excited to kind of create like a series. And at some point, whenever we get Camp Rotan Cabin as a legal building, according to the state and what we need to do, then we could even have some of those kinds of clinics out there, which would be really, really cool. Katie is almost ready. We're getting close with the drop-in childcare. She's kind of working through her final planning, but it's looking like it will likely be the evenings of Monday, Wednesday, and Friday whenever we offer that, based off of the data that she was able to collect from people when they might be most likely to use it, and also staff availability. And that's when we have a lot of fitness programs going on anyways. Still collecting pictures and stories of memories for the 25th anniversary gallery. We will open our spring break camp registration to the public. We're going to open that on January 24th.
How are you doing registration? Is it in person or?
Spring break camp
Yes.
is in person.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
What
if I
are
recall correctly.
What are the age?
Such good questions that you ask. It is our. It's like K through 5th. Yeah, because it's our normal before aftercare
Okay.
age range, which is kindergarten through 5th grade.
Okay.
So that is and we open it to our before and aftercare folks first, so we'll do that tomorrow, and then they have a week to register before we open it up to the public. And we usually take around 30 or so kids, so it's more than the kids that we have enrolled for sure in our program. And then, of course, we're planning our summer camp and our registration party so that we can do registration in person, but we can take care of your kiddos while registering. Registration will open soon, and there's something else, we're using the studio. There's an exercise studio at the community center, and it's not always programmed. And so there's going to be odd hours, but they are pretty consistent, where it's just going to be open studio, so people can go in there and do body exercises, stretching, whatever that they, we have limited stretching and body work style space in the community center. And so this is a way to kind of open that up for folks, or if they want to like get on their phone and do an exercise video, whatever it is, we're going to have that open for folks whenever it's not programmed. So that's pretty exciting. Aaron's working on getting the kind of the times posted around so that people will know that they can go in there. Okay, that was a lot of programming. Okay, arts. We have a lot of things going on and happening in the arts world. We will have our Los Flamingos Theater Company shows happening in the spring, and I guess these two things were there from last time. The art for the public restrooms, we now have to wait till the weather is better. The gallery, so Adam is really excited, and I'm excited too, of having the galleries. The first gallery show will be in May, and then he has a fun idea of tying, another program that we're working on is Art in the Park, where we have kind of folks who will have loose instruction for different kinds of media, maybe using nature elements depending on what park it is, but that those folks are artists from the community, and they will exhibit at Arts West as well, so you can go experience their art and then go take a class with them out in the park. So I probably didn't do that justice in the way I described that, but it's a pretty cool idea that he's running with. And we're also going to start a community studio. Hopefully that will begin in March. Nope, that was the Art in the Park. I can't remember whenever he said the community studio would work. But anyways, it's going to be 2 times a month at Arts West, and he's working through partnerships with other organizations to see if they could host once a week an open studio. So then there would be like once a week in the Athens area, this open studio. And the idea is that folks could come and they can use our materials and equipment to create whatever it is that they would like to create with each other, or they can bring their own, but it kind of gives that space for people who are interested in making things to be together. We have dance classes going on, the Athens Community Music School and their strings class. We are going to work on hiring a program coordinator to help program in the afternoons and evenings at Arts West. And we're working on 2 grant applications with the Ohio Arts Council. And then in our parks, even though it's winter, we still have things happening. I'm working on getting a blueprint created for the cabin at Camp Rotan so that we can submit it to the state and get official approval to have that open to the public. And our archery program is coming to a close. I am following up with hunters. Haven't followed up with session 3 people yet, and session 4 just ended. So I need to follow up with those folks, but I have been following up with hunters to just see what their experience was like and get feedback from them if they had any suggestions to improve. So it's been good. I've gotten great feedback and also great suggestions on ways we could improve it in the future. So that's exciting. AEDs, we did purchase the AEDs that are going to go in the parks, and Athens Has Heart, is funding those, and so we're just waiting on delivery. And our parking passes for off-campus parking are on sale for 25-26 year, so if anybody needs those. They are on sale, and you can purchase them online or in person or over the phone or via email. Art in the Park, beginning in March, and we have a practicum student who's been working on our rain garden, and he led the scavenger hunt in the this early winter, late fall. That went really well, and so he's going to do more of that for us this spring. Agility equipment for the West State Street Dog Park arrived, and it will be installed when we're able, and the communication board for the playground at West State Street Park arrived and will be installed.
That's cool. I was just following a conversation. Someone was just asking, is there anywhere we have dog park agility equipment? This is perfect. Like yesterday. That's
Oh,
cool.
that's funny. Yeah.
And they were asking in the entire area, and I was like, okay,
yeah.
now I have an answer.
West State
Awesome.
Street, Dog Park has several pieces. The ones at East have at the East State Street Park have, I think, 1 piece in each. But yeah, West State Street Park has more of a series. So
Nice.
Your parking passes, did you sell out last year?
no, I think we ended up having a few that, like, 3 or 4 spaces available, I think, if I recall correctly.
That brought in a couple $1,000 for you, right?
$23,000.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was a huge impact. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Catherine. That was, there's so much going on. I'm excited. We'll be at the Fam Jam.
Yay.
Kiddos. My daughter starts basketball on Monday, just the
Awesome.
Smart Start one. She's trying it out to see, so I'm really excited to see all these programs.
That's great.
Anyone else, questions or comments for Catherine Ann?
What was the minimum goal we're looking at raising through the bricks?
So it would be nice to kind of pay us back for the actual work. So that would be, I think, what did he say, 324 bricks? So if we did $100 a brick, then that would more than cover and pay us back for the work. Not quite the entire sculpture installation and that piece, but the surface that the sculpture would be installed in that would have the bricks is like $27,500 or somewhere around there. So, I think that targeting between 20 and 30 would be appropriate for a
All right.
fundraising goal.
Are all the bricks the same size, or are you going to do bigger
These
ones?
are, and so I think that was something that we had, I guess you might have asked that last time too, of will there be opportunities for larger plaques or larger bricks or something like that. And we have discussed having that opportunity through the sandstone seating blocks. We have some in our storage yard, and we use those periodically, sprinkle them throughout the city, and you can definitely put, a plaque on that. We've looked at other parks to see how they do any sort of plaques, and people have boulders here or there. So I think there's other opportunities that with the ad hoc committee, we could definitely work through to figure out, what we can do, what would be pleasing to the eye, but also help us, raise some more funds and give people the opportunity to have a bigger plaque or bigger brick or bigger something, paver if they wanted.
I know at one point we said that part of the fundraising for the 25th anniversary would be for you to open up a separate account where you could just, have a slush fund. Do I remember that?
That was with the, if we were able to get the Friends of established,
Okay.
then that would be,
Okay.
how we could funnel everything. And then the Friends of could, if, say we needed or wanted, I don't know, they could be like, oh, through the Friends of funds, we're going to put in a new playground, or we're going to put in a new shelter house, and they can just do it.
How do we get that started? Or wasn't there one that was?
There was
started?
one, yep. I need to look up, because you can look up nonprofits in the state of Ohio, and I forget how. I have looked it up just to see if it was still active, and it is. What happened was we were unable to find a treasurer. So, this might be a good, when we have people who are applying to be a part of the advisory board, if those folks, aren't selected to be on the advisory board, maybe a follow-up of,
Yeah.
would you like to be a part of building this Friends of?
You could also approach existing nonprofits about just being a fiscal sponsor for it, so you
Yeah.
wouldn't even have to go through the process of setting up your own.
Yeah, Athens
Nonprofit.
County Foundation does that pretty regularly. Yeah, I don't know how or what conflicts I don't know how that works from hey, Athens County Foundation, we need this money to put towards XYZ. Am I the one that is okay to say that, or would that have to be a rec advisory board, or
I think you would write that in the gift agreement.
however okay, gotcha.
I think.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. And that's a
I would
good point.
assume it would have to be run by someone outside of the department and government.
Yeah,
but
that's what I was thinking.
Seems like it might be an easier lift than actually creating your own nonprofit. for it.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. But also, money we raise reflects as revenue for us, which is also really important. And then that helps build our next year's budget too. There's, it just kind of depends on what the goal is. If we were to say we need $50,000 right now in this year to do XYZ, then it would definitely be much more beneficial to have a friends of or a fiscal sponsor, because then they can just collect it and do it. Whereas if we did it, then we would have to collect it, then have it appropriated specially, and then we could do it maybe we would be able to do it whenever we needed to. But it's easier for us to handle those like $10,000 ones here and there that we just need to do, and we'll just thank you for the donations, we'll take it, and we have the money to fund it right now. But once it starts getting larger, it's harder for us to do that.
Catherine, on simple math, if $250 a brick, and I don't know if that's realistic, but just thinking the 25 years, $250, that would raise you $81,000.
Yeah, I mean, that would be huge, and that's what I don't know.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think
Yeah.
we should try
I don't know
for
what's
that,
reasonable,
right?
and-
You
Like, I
can
think
always
we
bring the
should,
price down
I
later.
would
right?
love-
And you can
yeah.
always have the blank bricks and then pull them out and put other people in as you continue to build. But I think that celebrating the 25 years for what it's worth, that's my recommendation versus just doing $100. Because
Yeah.
$81,000 is a lot more than the 20,000.
Well, yes, it is indeed.
Are these just standard size bricks? Like just the-
From my understanding, yeah.
Okay.
I have some detailed questions for Joshua, and I think that would be good to get that. What are the questions we have from the ad hoc committee? So then we can ask him and make sure that we have a solid plan that would work with the bricks that are going in and how they're going in and how they're getting engraved.
Yes.
That's the other part.
You need to hold off on selling those until the Friends of the Parks is set up, or can you go ahead and do that now?
No, that's separate. I think that was just kind of like, is this something, correct me if I'm wrong, that you were just like bringing up as a part of any sort of fundraising, but then,
I was just bringing up, I would like
Yeah.
to recommend we have set the price at $250 and see what we get. Right? I think that
Yeah, I
sounds
don't go,
based on
"Oh,
what,
Yeah.
like based on
good.
what,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of money, but
I would love
based on
that.
what other people are asking for, and it goes with the 25 anniversary, so it's,
yeah, that's true, yeah.
so I would like to make that recommendation. I don't
Yeah.
know if you take that back to your team or how that
Yeah,
goes, and then
yeah.
as soon as that's set, then can we start selling the bricks, or what do we need to do
Yeah.
to start?
Yeah, and I think that's a good question of figuring out, I think we would just need to figure out the material that advertises the bricks. So I think with that, from Joshua, we would probably want to get a picture and image of the bricks so that people can see it, and then make sure that we have the engraving down so we can tell, you can get one line, you can get however many characters, things, I think details like that would be the
And I
things
think-
that we need.
I think starting a
think.
prospect list too, right? Like getting somebody, if Erin wants to take the lead on that, because I think you said this was her
Yeah.
lane, is setting up a Google sheet or something that we can all share and put prospective names and contact people and assign
Oh,
people
yeah.
to who would reach out to those people. I think would be very efficient, and then we don't have to wait on any marketing materials or anything like that.
Yeah,
You can already get verbal commitments.
yeah, nice.
Once the marketing
great.
materials there, have you thought about like setting up a table at the farmer's market or other events to kind of promote it?
We haven't gotten that far in our thinking, yeah.
Cart before the horse.
So that's great. That's a great idea. I'm sure the farmers market would be open to us, having a space to start getting that information out there. Yeah.
Or even having a standing display in the lobby for people.
Yeah,
to
we
go
would
in.
definitely have something like that for sure. Yeah. Yeah. That's great. Writing down my notes here.
The Friends of Athens Arts, Parks, and Recreation is on the IRS website.
There we go.
Looks like the last tax period they had anything for was 2021.
Yeah, there has to be a treasurer. And we couldn't get another person to commit, if I remember correctly. So it kind of fizzled from there.
If you, do you have access to the bylaws for that?
Yeah, I can do some digging. I would have to, yeah, at some point. Shauna was the person, Shauna Schweitzer, who spearheaded that. And so if I can't find it, I'll just reach out to Shauna and see if she still if it's easy to find. Maybe Shauna's interested in
She is
picking it back up.
person on the IRS website.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah. Okay. And I think that as far as for the bricks, this is good, at least to set us up for our first meeting, the ad hoc committee of figuring out what exactly is left to do and then making a plan and doing it.
I'd be happy to help with that ad hoc committee too, if you need help on it.
Great. Who is on it again?
I think
like
Stuart.
Annie and Stuart.
Annie and Stuart.
Annie and Stuart. Okay, perfect. And then maybe
Yeah.
John. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you can totally have. Wait,
Yes, 3 is not.
you can't have more than 3. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Not more than that. Okay.
Yeah.
You're not on it, right?
Because that's right. Because if we had 4, it'd be a quorum. Okay, got it. Can't have a quorum.
Just have to wear a mask when you show up. Make sure my mic's muted when I say that.
That's a joke
Strike that from the record.
for those watching now.
Redacted. All right.
Well,
Well,
this is exciting. Good ideas, really.
So we're gonna wait to hear from Aaron on a meeting.
Yeah, I'll loop Aaron and you all just send. I'm gonna add John then to that.
Also, thank you.
You're welcome.
Other questions, ideas, comments? All right. Yeah, lots of exciting stuff happening. I look forward to hearing from the ad hoc committees in February and see what's how things are progressing. That's great. So, all right, our next meeting is Thursday, February 20th at 5:30 here in Chambers and on the Facebook page. So we'll see everybody then. All right, have a good night.